Welcome to We Are Soccer, the show that talks about pro soccer, youth soccer, and everything in between. I'm your host, Craig Hearn. All right, another huge jam-packed show of soccer. This week's been absolutely crazy, as we know. Today, specifically, we're going to be talking about Ronaldo heading back to United. Mbappe wants out at PSG, and it very well could happen now that some of the other dominoes have fallen. The voice of Detroit City FC, Neil Rule, joins us later in the show. And just so much more. We've got to get going because this is a jam-packed show, so make sure you stick around. Right off the bat, big thank you to our friends who've been with us from day one. Want to thank Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars FC, Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage, and Next Level Training. As usual, we've got Nate in studio. Nate, what's going on, buddy?
Hey! I'm here.
You're here? Man, there's so much to get through, isn't there?
So much.
It's been an exciting week for soccer.
Yes. Too bad Stuttgart didn't play last week, but they play today.
They technically they
no,
did play.
they didn't.
Technically
no,
they did play, but they didn't show up.
Oh.
I know. It's unfortunate. All right, as you guys know, I like to do some shout-outs as we start the show. The first shout-out goes to Nate and his wonderful wife, Michelle, who are celebrating their wedding anniversary. Congratulations, Nate.
Thank you. 12 years strong.
We do have a little gift for you.
Ooh.
We'll put that, we'll hand that over to you.
Oh, it's so far away. My arms are short. Oh, my God, it's heavy.
Yes. We have that as a little gift.
Do I open it now or just...
Nah, open it later.
All
and
right.
then
is it the roll of quarters that you've been handing people?
We've been collecting as well. And then We Are Soccer is going to purchase you the Stuttgart jersey of your choice. So after the show today, you let us know you want the home jersey, you want that nice away jersey.
Oh, man.
And we'll get that on order.
You don't have to do all that.
Oh,
I just
we will.
am happy
Congratulations
to be
on the anniversary, and thank your wife again for letting you come on the show because it's awesome having you here.
I cooked a 10-course breakfast this morning, so she was happy. So
I don't know how she can complain.
I just kept going. I didn't know how to stop.
The perfect husband, folks. The perfect husband. Also, big shout out to the MLS All-Stars for beating League MX, their counterparts in the All-Star game. It went to penalties. Did you watch it at all?
I watched some of the highlights. Did you hear Alexi Lawless's comment after the skills challenge, which was
that not
gold.
Awesome? That was broadcast over the stadium announcer.
Yes, it was piped through the stadium going, well, I'm just finally glad that Mexico could win something this year.
I know, man. But the MLS All-Star game, traditionally I do not... I don't really like it. I think it's a bit of an American type thing, and they've just fit it in. But it was good. I like the fact that they brought in League MX and they played them, and it made it actually a good game. There was actually some merit to it.
I think it was much nicer that they did that rather than, you know, it's neat to have the European squad in for the friendly, but that's basically what it is. It was nice to have the League Mex guys in, because that's kind of like, you know, your neighbor next door, your rival next door. It just added, I agree, it added an extra element of competitiveness, and I think it was a little bit better this year than it was in the past.
I agree. It was actually some merit to it.
Yep.
So again, congratulations to the MLS All-Stars on that win. All right, let's quickly jump in. World Soccer News brought to you by Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage. If you're looking to refinance or you're looking for a new mortgage, give Tim Merritt at Ross Mortgage a call. Good dude, knows his soccer as well, so he'll be happy to talk to you about that. Big news this week, as we mentioned right off the bat, is Ronaldo heading back to Manchester United. I know we all went to bed Thursday night thinking that it was a done deal going to Man City.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so many posts on the We Are Soccer Facebook group about Ronaldo disgracing himself, disgracing his legendary status, and heading to the blue half of Manchester and heading over to Manchester City. And then we woke up Friday morning and boom, United. He's on his way to United. I think we were all fooled. We played like fiddles.
Well, you were.
I think you were in on that as well, my friend.
No, I was the only one who said I don't care. Like, apparently I was the only United supporter in the history of ever who went, okay, well, if he goes there, that's on him, and he can reap the consequences, and good luck with the 37-year-old who's basically bashed your club a couple times openly You know, have fun with that player and let me know how that dynamic works.
Yeah.
So I didn't really care. I know, like, probably every United fan is throwing stuff at me. I was on a chat, the Red Devils chat, and I don't think those guys slept that night. And my phone was going off and pinging and pinging and pinging. And I think I put it down, and there would be 52 messages of people losing their minds. I didn't care. I wanted him to come, you know, before he went to Juventus. That was my big, like, oh, well, you're leaving Madrid. Okay, come back to United. We need you. And he didn't. And I was like,
yeah, over it.
All right, I'm over it.
Yeah.
You know, I have mixed feelings about this. I don't know if we're getting into it now but
I mean, let us know your feelings as a United fan. We all know you're a Man United fan.
Well, I'm a jaded United fan, apparently, because, like, every United fan is, like, boner jams over this thing, rocking it out like, yeah, you know, we're doing it now. Everything, we will win every trophy there is with our 37-year-old striker that hasn't played in this league in 13 years. Here we go, baby! You know, and I guess there's cities in talks with Chicharito now, so we better jump on him because he's got 10 goals in MLS, man. 10 goals in 10 games in MLS. He's really good. No, Anderson's a legend, too. We can't let him go.
He's definitely past his prime.
Well, why? He's younger. He's younger.
Agreed. But he has not kept himself in as good shape. Let's just clarify for fans out there. Ronaldo was signed by United for 15 million euros and a potential further 8 million euros in add-ons. Add-ons are if he makes so many appearances, scores so many goals, etc. So essentially, he will cost the club 23 million euros, 25 to 30 million dollars. That's a really good transfer fee. But where the money really comes in is in his wages. I have not read anything about what his wages could be at the moment, but they're expected to be very high, probably the top earner at the club. Do we think that a 36-year-old
37 next year 37 so
next year.
In this year the season, yes, he's turning 37
correct
early in February,
who hasn't played in the Premiership for 12 years now.
Yep.
Do we think he can actually play in this league, because this is the toughest league in the world? He's not going to play every game. You're not going to see him we all know the saying, on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke. I don't think we're seeing Ronaldo playing there.
Well, I mean, it worked in FIFA, so it will work in real life, right?
Yes.
And that's where I think some of these people's heads are at. It's like, well,
it's a nostalgia value.
Exactly. It's, you know, you remember the bad movie that you watched and you, like, 10, 12, 13 years ago, but you thought it was good, and then you rewatch it 10, 12, 13 years later, and it just ain't the same because it didn't hold up.
Yep.
This is basically Fast and Furious 1. Everyone thought Fast and Furious 1 was great. It wasn't. Not when you rewatched it. Nope, it was not. Yeah, sorry, Vin Diesel. But, so, him as a player, I am not big. I wasn't big on Messi going to PSG. I wasn't big on Messi coming into the Premier League. I mean, people were like, oh, you got to get Messi in the Premier League. I'm going, why? Look at his age. He's never played in this league before. Yes, Ronaldo has experience playing here. That was 12 years ago, and that was a different story and a different player.
I do want to hit upon something you said there, though. I don't think Messi would make it in the Premier League, right? It's a different league. It's tougher.
No.
It's less technical unless you got that toughness. But I give Ronaldo credit for coming back to the Premiership and playing in the toughest league in the world, because Serie A is not the toughest league in the world. It's very technical. It's slower paced. Coming back to the Premiership, that takes some guts right there, and good on him for that. I don't know if this is a money grab or if he had any other. He probably had other offers, but this is probably one of the biggest offers he had. But I think it has something to do with his wanting to win and wanting to win now and prove himself. So, you know, good for him.
Did he have other offers outside the Premier League? Who?
None that we know of.
Who?
But you got to believe.
PSG cashed out.
Well, PSG weren't in there.
He's
you
not
gotta
gonna
believe leagues like MLS reached out and said, "Hey, if you're interested," because it doesn't hurt them to do that, because you know he's going to end up in the MLS, just like Messi's going to end up in the MLS at some point in his career too. And not to play is to expand his brand. So let's make sure we get that out there.
So MLS is a demotion. We can
Absolutely
agree on that.
Absolutely.
Chicharito, there's a video of Chicharito, and I had to bring him up again, literally crying to his dad when he found out he wasn't playing in Europe anymore and going to MLS. Okay, now you had Zlatan, who went there and went out. Good on him. Outside of going down, what European club really was going to spend that money in wages on Ronaldo at this point?
Oh, no, there's only 3 or 4 clubs.
Right. So I don't think there was
a
ton of options.
I agree.
I don't think there was. And I think the agent played it perfectly by talking to City, who never sent him an offer. United panicked because, what do you mean he panicked? We never talked about him until he was going to City. And then all of a sudden it was a massive deal, and we couldn't let him go. We couldn't let him slip. We couldn't be embarrassed. You panicked. You panicked. It was a panic buy. You panicked. It is what it is. Now, not to completely bash Ronaldo and stop throwing things at your computer screen, United fans, for about 2 seconds, because I am one too, right? I'm just putting a little reality on it. We all remember when Zlatan came to United, right? And he came in the twilight of his career as well. The biggest thing, outside of scoring some really nice goals, that apparently he did for that team was his presence in the locker room. He was a winner. They knew he got everyone super motivated. They knew they were going to win games. Didn't matter because of his presence and the way he talked and the way he conducted himself. Now, maybe Ronaldo is that type of player. Maybe he brings that dynamic to your locker room. Maybe he brings that presence to light a fire under the Pogbas, the Rashfords, and some of these guys. United's been missing that for years, a true locker room leader. Maybe he's that guy, with also, Verdine and Maguire now. Maybe he's an Ole guy. They played together. He knows the club. He knows the dynamic. He knows what it takes to win. Maybe he's that guy. Or maybe his wages and attitude screws up the whole dynamic. We'll see.
Who knows, right? Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I don't see Ronaldo being that guy. I think he's that guy who comes in, cares about himself, tries to get his own job done, will score 2 goals, and they'll lose 3-2, and he'll be happy that he scored 2 goals. I don't know. Either way, we'll find out. It's probably a good...
But at the same...
It's probably a good pickup. And jersey sales are going to go through the roof because every United fan on Thursday was burning their old Ronaldo jersey. They all burned them, and all of a sudden they woke up Friday morning, and he signed for their club, and now they got to go out and buy another Ronaldo jersey, United Ronaldo jersey,
the bicentennial vintage one. But there is evidence of Ronaldo being a super team motivator. You go back to the Euros with Portugal when they won, and he's on the sideline, jumping up and down when he was injured, trying to motivate his team along with the coach. If that's the Ronaldo that is going to come to this club and motivate this team, then I think you basically bought a professional locker room persona.
I hope
there you
as
go.
a United fan, I hope you're right. But we all know...
But then there's the
Ronaldo
other side of the coin.
has a big ego, and he's got a lot of business assets and a lot of business interests that take over his time. That could be what's driving a lot of this. Time will tell.
What more of a marketable ploy could you have to say, hey, when I left we were winners, and then they were losers, and then now I came back, and now we're winners again?
He does win wherever he goes, although he didn't win much at Juventus. But I agree.
But you know what I'm saying? You left the club, they were winners, and now you're back, and now they're winners again. Slap that on a bumper sticker, T-shirt, and whatever you want. That's market 101, baby.
Well, as we said, it's been 12 years since he's been at the club. The last time he was at the club, he played 292 games for Man United, scoring 118 goals. Not a bad return for a young player who's just making his name. And then he left in 2009 in a world record transfer fee of £80 million to
times
Real Madrid. Boy, have times changed. With that note, we'll kind of scoot along to the next piece here because, man, this has been one of the craziest transfer windows I've ever seen. And it's supposed to be a bad year. It's supposed to be the down year.
Yeah, nobody has money.
It's supposed to be the year that everyone's
broke
from the pandemic and being broke.
I can't believe Mbappe is asking for the world record 90 million, right? It's only 90 million is world record now? No?
Yeah, it's only gone up 10 million in 12 years.
Yeah, right?
Kylian Mbappe,
yeah.
the Real Madrid have offered 160 million euros for him. It was turned down. It was turned down. PSG said, we don't need the money. We're turning it down. We want him. Fully realizing that if they turn that money down, which they have, next year he could leave on a free. Kylian Mbappe has also turned down 3 contract offers from PSG. He has made it known he does not want to be in Paris right now. There has been a third bid come in, I believe it's 180 million from Real Madrid. This is going to happen. Either it's going to happen at some point here because PSG are going to realize that if we don't sell him now, he leaves next year for free. This will happen. The holdup right now, in my opinion, is they are negotiating for another striker. So here's who's on the docket for them. They're eyeing Robert Lewandowski. The rumored number there is 100 million. So they would offer 100 million to Bayern Munich for him. 34. Erling Haaland, who they're going to have to go anywhere from 175 to 200 million. But again, you're going to be getting 180 million from the sale of Mbappe. You might as well put an extra couple of dollars down, and there you go, get Erling Haaland. Or Richarlison from Everton. That's a name I did not see popping up. B-string player for Brazil. It could be going for 100 million pounds to PSG. I think Everton needs to call PSG right now and say, please take him for 100 million. We will gladly sell you Richarlison for that.
Out of all those guys, I think that's the only guy you're gonna get because I don't think Haaland's gonna leave. I don't think Dortmund's gonna let go of Haaland right now.
So just so everybody's aware, Haaland did do the tour this year. He went to England. He went to some of the bigger clubs in Europe. His agent Raiola talked to all these clubs. The holdup is the amount of money he wants per week. Erling Haaland wants £870,000 per week. That's almost that's over $1 million per week, and he wants 24 million right off the bat for his agent as an agent fee.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's why United.
That's the holdup.
That's why United turned this down when years ago because of the whole release clauses and all that funky business they wanted in his contract. This doesn't surprise me.
Or teams wait a year and next year the contract the clause kicks in of 75 million for Haaland. But PSG they have oil money. It doesn't matter to them. They will gladly go ahead and pay 200 million right now to get his services. So I think the Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid transfer happens if PSG can negotiate for Erling Haaland or one of those other Richarlison or Lewandowski.
I don't think. Well, Lewandowski, I don't think is going anywhere because Munich is not motivated to sell him, and they would be kind of foolish to sell him without a plan because of what he does for that team. Haaland, I question PSG because he's not going to be the most marketable player on that team, and that's a big thing for his camp, right?
It is. It absolutely is.
It's a big thing. He's not. He's going to be in the shadows right now with the other names they have. Now, Richarlison, that's a different story. I personally think PSG is just trying to see how much money they can get, and at the end of the hour, they'll just deal him away. Reject the first one. You can always come back and go, yeah, okay, never mind. We'll take it. We'll take that 160. Or, hey, maybe.
Right.
It's interesting. I hope he goes to Madrid because that's one less player off the table for my United Haaland adventure that maybe one day could happen.
Well, the big dominoes, the big goats, those transfers have happened, right? We talked about Ronaldo, Messi. We talked about a couple of weeks ago going to PSG. Those are the we'll call them the OGs, right? The old school guys, the best players ever to play the game. The next one is Haaland and Mbappe, and those very well could happen this summer. If they don't happen this summer, they will definitely happen next summer. So dominoes are falling. We will remind you that there's only 3 days left in the transfer window. So listen, one of these, Mbappe leaves it gives you a lot less time for these other players to jump in and get, and then those players have to be replaced in those teams. So it's
hopefully
crazy window. We did not see this coming.
Hopefully Madrid's fixed their fax machine and won't have any issues.
Yeah,
but I mean, you do have January, and maybe you don't have the player move in January, but you work out like a Pulisic type deal, where that happens, and that I could see definitely that happening, especially for Holland. Dortmund working out that type of deal like they did for Pulisic, where Holland doesn't go anywhere, still finishes out the season, which is important for them right now, and they get the money and not lose the hundreds of millions that for the $75 million release cost.
So obviously crazy window, absolutely crazy transfer window. Nobody saw this coming. We've already had Jack Grealish move for £100 million. We've had Harry Kane put in a transfer request, skip practice, but now he's back in the line of training and at Spurs. He's playing, he's scoring goals. I was really surprised to see Harry Kane get the armband back. Big news. I mean, that was interesting to me, but clearly the leader on that squad, so they gave it back to him. The other one that's been interesting from Juventus, obviously they've let Ronaldo go. The other one is Weston McKennie, the young American. He's only been there a year now. He's done very well. Allegri does not want to let him go, but there are offers coming in for him, and those offers are in the range of 30 to 40 million pounds, which is double what they paid for him. So it'd be good business to let him go. So some of the teams that are bidding on Weston McKennie, they're mostly English Premier League teams. We've got Tottenham, Aston Villa rumored to have bid on him. Crystal Palace have rumored to have bid on him. He won't go to Palace. That's not going to happen. I wouldn't go there because they're my odds-on favorite to get relegated this year. Tottenham, they're doing okay, but now that Harry Kane has stayed, that's going to be a good team again. And Villa are a team on the rise, as we know. So if any of those transfers happens, I think it will be to Tottenham. But I really hope Weston McKennie is able to stay at Juventus and get some experience and play there, because he's starting and scoring goals.
He's winning trophies. I mean, what's awesome about this is, for once, you have a U.S. player that is being talked about transferring or moving from a big club because he's good, not because they don't want him. They want to keep him, but due to financial issues, that is their most marketable player, apparently, or one of their most marketable players to sell for a reasonable, that has reasonable wages where they could get a ton of money. That's not common as a USA player. Usually it's like, hey, I'm not getting the playing time, not good enough. This is a bit of a different story. And hats off to McKennie, coming from Schalke and actually doing very, very well. Doing very well and attracting a lot of interest from European teams in the Premiership there. So with all this being said, there's been a lot of talk because of these huge transfers and the wages that come along with these players of Messi and Ronaldo and what Mbappe is going to be getting and what Erling Haaland wants. A lot of questions have arisen this summer about, wait a minute, I thought financial fair play was supposed to stop a lot of this happening. I thought that was supposed to stop these teams doing this. So, Nate, you know what I did was I dug up financial fair play and the rules of financial fair play. And this piece of paper is blank. There's nothing because it's useless. It is absolutely useless. Oh, that's
financial fair play is crap. It's absolutely crap. We all know it. If you're Manchester City or if you're PSG, even Barcelona skirted around it, and now look what's happened to them, right? So financial fair play is crap. We all know it.
I heard a club got a strongly worded letter though.
Ooh,
yeah, they were like,
don't do that anymore.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll definitely help.
Please.
Well done, FIFA. All right. Well, let's move on to some transfer news, because we could go all day on the amount of transfer news that's coming out. And again, 3 days left in the transfer market, the window there. Some more big dominoes will fall, guarantee it. Non-transfer news. This is kind of some kind of crap news, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. Benjamin Mendy from Manchester City has been suspended over rape and sexual allegations. I believe 3 or 4 women have come up with these very serious allegations against him. I'm going to say that this is actually pretty big news, but I don't want to comment on it too much. We got to let the process, the justice process, kind of work its way through. But Manchester City, I believe, have done their own little investigation, have suspended him right off the bat and said, don't be around us, don't come back for a little bit until this is done. With the serious allegations, his career could be over. This is very serious, and if I don't want to say too much more until the process is done, but not looking good.
It's not looking good, and you don't want to, in this day age of prosecuting someone via the interwebs. But I will say this: he's not being released on bail. Apparently what I read is the court denied any bail, which means they believe usually means that you're a flight risk from the TV shows I've seen. So that's pretty serious. We'll see what happens. You hope it's not true, just in life in general, because you don't like to see bad things happen to people, but not looking good for Mr. Mendy.
Not looking good at all.
No.
Following with Manchester City, more news coming out this week. Pep Guardiola has said that he would like to see out his contract at Man City, and at the end of that contract to 2023, he would like to kind of step away and take a break. Or if there's a international job open that intrigues him, he would like to step into there. That's pretty big news. One of the top managers in the world has said he wants to step away from the club. That's going to actually, the news that comes out now, I think, as their transfer businesses have been done, because one or two players may not have wanted to go there if they had known that news. So that's big news.
I mean, I thought I read that this was always the plan, though, that he was going to step into City for a few years, do what he does there, hopefully be successful, and then leave and go coach a national team at that point, and just basically tick all these boxes and say, hey, that's my career, so I wasn't really surprised that this came out based on what I thought I read years ago on his way from Munich to City at the time. So
I mean, I've heard those rumors before, and then he signed new contracts, but it's pretty big news there. Let's jump in real quick. I think next week we'll do a little bit of a segment, but the stick, if you could bring up the U.S. men's national team roster, we just want to talk about that for a hot second. We'll do a little bit more in-depth next week on this, but the roster came out this week for the 3 games that USA has for the World Cup qualifiers. No, I mean, their names are there that we kind of expected to be there. This week came out, Ricardo Pepi has pledged his allegiance to the USA instead of Mexico. That's great to see. He grew up here, but he has ties and family in Mexico, so he had the choice of going either way. He went to the USA. Pulisic is on the list. Rumor is that he should be fine for the first game, September 3rd. Fingers crossed there as he gets over COVID. Tim Ream, back in the squad. I'm not a fan of Tim Ream, but I think he's a solid player for experience. I hope we don't have to put him on the field. Yeah. And the big one for me is, who's going to start in goal? Who do you see starting in goal? I mean, is it Matt Turner, who's come off, by the way, the MLS game All-Star? Yeah. Gold Cup, winner, All-Star pretty much for the Gold Cup for the USA. But then you've got Ethan Horvath, who played very well in the Nations League, but he's not playing at Nottingham Forest right now. And Zach Steffen, the backup for Man City.
So if I take my right hand here and just kind of go like this and cover up the clubs, you got to go with Turner based on his last performance. However, you can't discount where a guy plays. And I get it, he's not a starter. But I think there's a massive difference between warming up or working with week in, week out with some MLS players, or warming up or working out with some of the best players in the world. And that's kind of the fact there with Stefan. I get it. He's not playing games, stuff like that. But he's not sitting on his hands. You know what I mean? So he's working and getting reps in and doing what he can in training, weekend, day in, day out, and whatnot. But that is a conundrum because, like I said, you go off past performances, you go off recent performances between the three. I think Turner kind of nudges them out.
I agree.
So
he's my starter for all three of those, unless he's injured.
What I'm happy to see is, like you saw it on the cap locking of Pepe, the P-Folk coming in, the Bello. That's kind of what you want to do here with some of these players. Maybe they won't get massive starting minutes, but if they get in 2 minutes in that game time, boom, you're with us forever, baby. and I love it. I kind of am sad to see Roldan's name on the list, but from an aspect of
he brought something.
He
brings
brings something different.
He
brings something different, and yeah, he might not be the starter, or maybe he will be. I don't know. I don't think he will be, but coming off the bench, bringing and adding something different is something that you have on there. And I mean, I'm happy to see Reyna on there again. Aaron Aronson, who's been great in Salzburger. I mean, Reyna last night had a goal that went in the Bundesliga that had I believe it was 2% chance of actually going in. Slided it between two defenders and right under their goalkeeper. It was a fantastic goal to break open that game against Hoffenheim.
The youngest player in Bundesliga history to reach 50 appearances.
Yep, and I think that's actually tied. Amazing. He's tied the goals scored in Germany with his dad, I believe, or something like that. Like they said that record. So it's he has just as many goals scored with that his dad had when he played there, and he's super young. Yeah. So, and the commentators are making jokes, going, "Well, I think he might just be able to break ahead of his dad with the goals scored." Yeah, he is doing fantastic in Dortmund right now.
Yep. Another name on that list, Jamie Sands, New York City FC player, came out of the Gold Cup.
The other one too, my homie. Well, I say my homie, but one of I thought the best player in the Gold Cup was Miles Robinson. Yep. I'm glad to see him on there because I thought he played fantastic in that tournament. And last but not least, your personal connection, Mr. Kellen Acosta.
Love to see Kellen in that squad, don't we? I think he's going to play, and I think he's going to play meaningful minutes.
Yeah. Look at the midfield. You look at only the midfields they call up. I struggle to see how he's not going to somehow play significant minutes next to Adams.
Those games kick off next week. September 3rd is the first one, an away game there for the USA men's team. So we go on an international break after this week, so everybody knows.
Just call Kellen. Text him real quick, see if you can get another one of those.
Yeah, I'll give him another interview and text him good luck. All that.
Talk regularly, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's already sent me 3 text messages.
So jealous.
The show's not even done
You're like,
yet.
Kellen, stop. I'm trying to have dinner with the family. I can't play FIFA 2021 with you right now. Yep. And beat you again.
We want to bring in a new segment here to the show, Nate. So we have partnered up with Michigan Soccer Central, MSC, a local group here who does an awesome job featuring youth soccer, high school soccer, any soccer in the state of Michigan. They do such a cool job. They get a great podcast. If you guys can, check them out, Michigan Soccer Central. So it's Michigan Soccer Central and We Are Soccer every week are going to pick a team of the week, a young team of the week. So this week, presented by We Are Soccer, Michigan Soccer Central, the team of the week is the Jags 2009 Girls United team.
Ooh.
Yeah, take a look at that. So this girls team is coached by Tim Moore and Brent Clausio. Do you know Tim and Brent?
I do.
Yeah, super good dudes, super good coaches. You girls, very lucky to have those two boys. They are very, very good coaches. Super knowledgeable, super into soccer.
Great guys too.
Yeah, good dudes. So this team last weekend won the Midwest United Cup. They played Midwest United ECNL in the finals and won 3-2 in a PK shootout. They had to beat MFA, who were the state cup champions, in the prior game to advance. Both teams battled on a high school soccer field in 90-degree weather. Massive props to Midwest ECNL, and they have a very, very good team.
Yeah, they do.
Big shout out to all the referees who worked this tournament last week. I don't know if anybody knows, but here in Michigan, it was like 90, 95 degrees.
Yep.
Humidity was so high. It was crazy. So the volunteers, the referees, the players, everybody involved with that tournament, congratulations and thank you. one thing about Tim and Brent in this tournament, they tried to play all these girls in different positions.
That's a Jags philosophy.
Yeah,
so they did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If the higher ups, if you're listening, they did what they're supposed to do. But yeah, that's the philosophy of the
Every
Jags.
girl played in a new position outside of what they're normally playing in, and just to get them to learn. I mean, that's awesome. So, congratulations to the Jaguars 2009 Girls United for being the very first We Are Soccer and Michigan Soccer Central Team of the Week. We will feature another team next week.
Nice.
I love this new segment, man. We're gonna highlight some of the youth teams in the area and show you guys how good soccer in Michigan is.
And it's not just Craig and I's kids' teams either, repeatedly.
Listen, if you guys want to make one of these teams the team of the week, you need to get better, right? You need to get better. You need to practice. Outside of practice, outside of playing soccer outside by yourself, I highly recommend you guys hit up Next Level Training. Aaron Bird, Next Level Training, super good dudes. I mean, they train Kellen Acosta and other pros. They are phenomenal.
My daughter flat out said reach out to him because it's near the Chipotle. She said make it happen.
Near the Chipotle.
And I said, okay.
Go ahead, Stick, if you could. Can you go ahead and play the Next Level Training clip? You guys got to see this and what Aaron does, and then we'll come back with a special guest right after this. All right, kids, again, next-leveltraining.com with Aaron Bird. Highly recommend it. I've been out to some of those training sessions. They are absolutely phenomenal. He sets you up so you can't fail. He teaches you everything you need to know. Trust me, one of the best trainers out there. Again, there's a reason Kellen Acosta, U.S. men's national team player, flies back to Michigan to train here. It's because of Aaron and Next Level Training. Next-leveltraining.com. Hit them up. All right, special guest. The voice of Detroit City FC joins us today. Big friends of We Are Soccer and Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule. Neil, thanks for joining, man.
What's up, boys? I was sad that when you guys were talking about record transfer fees that I wasn't mentioned in there. I'm trying to work on that, man. I want to get my transfer fee game up too. How are you guys?
Oh, good, man. Well, maybe we'll have to see how much Woodward Sports will sell you to us for. We'll put you on our show.
They just makes sense. Can I stop getting hit with quarters?
Yep. As soon as Neil joins our show.
Just compare the voices. His is golden, and mine sound like it's been through a wood chip.
That's why.
It is great to be on here, though. Like you guys are getting it done out there in the soccer community, man. Like
Thank you, man.
People are taking notice. They're watching. The numbers are the numbers. It's been too long before something like this has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something where I don't want to take a shot, and whenever somebody says I don't want to take a shot, what do they do right after that? They take a shot. But I mean, you know, the media here, which I'm a member of, the media here in the Detroit area, hasn't really gravitated towards soccer the way they should. And again, I just go by simple things like clicks and numbers and interest and everything like that. Television ratings are higher for the Premier League in America than they are for the NHL. Guys, it's time. Get on board, do yourself a favor, and jump on it.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm off the soapbox now. I'm off the soapbox.
No, but it's something we've been preaching for a while. The numbers every single year go up. Every single year, these numbers are going up. And even with MLS, we know it's not, you know, the Premiership or a La Liga or anything like that, but it's a good league that those numbers are going up. And we're seeing players from the MLS go into the Premiership and go into the Bundesliga. So soccer's on the rise here because we see, one, the players coming from here, heading over there. the numbers are going up, the views are going up. It's great to see finally getting recognition. And you're right, it's already doing better than the NHL.
Right.
I think it's going to pass baseball at some point. Because I think if you were to take a poll now of everybody 15 years old and younger, I think majority are playing soccer compared to baseball.
No, I would agree with that, and there are a number of factors too. It's never just one silver bullet, despite the fact like we're a silver bullet take a pill society. There are a number of factors too. Time certainty. We work as many hours as we've ever worked. A soccer match is 90 minutes. You can go down to your pub, you can watch it, a couple drinks, then it's over, and you go about your day.
Yep.
And I think that's a rise of NCAA softball. Games are quick. I don't have 3.5, 4 hours. My kids are not going to sit there for 3.5, 4 hours and watch baseball. But we tried. I had them playing. And for the record, I like baseball. I do. But they're not going to do it, man. It's just the way it is, and it's the way it's trending.
It's funny you should mention that. I'm actually heading out to the Tigers game tomorrow with my kids, and my wife already said. She said yesterday. She goes, "So you think probably around the 6th or 7th inning we'll have to leave because there's no way they're going to sit there and watch the entire thing." Whereas a soccer game, exactly.
Here's something. You know what though? And look, we all do that stuff. Here's kind of an idea I had about that is. So why don't we go, and I'm just going to tell this to my wife, so why don't we go in the 4th inning? We get there in the 4th inning.
Yeah. I know people who do that for basketball games, basketball games. They would show up after halftime because they're like the first and second, quarter really doesn't matter. And you look at, I get in this argument all the time. Someone tells me that soccer games are too long, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, football's only 14-minute halves. And I'm like, a football game from start to finish with timeouts, clock stopping, halftime, TV timeouts is 4 hours.
Right.
To the dot, to the point where they schedule around that 4 hours. They know it's going to be roughly 4.5 hours, 30-minute, in between show between your first game and your second game, just in case it goes over. But it's 4 hours.
Yeah, time certainty is the thing, man. It is.
Exactly.
All right, there. I got all the soccer world stuff out. Let's go. Greg.
So Neil, you're part of the Woodward Sports Network here. Your new show on Daily. Tell us about that. It's Big D.
Big D Energy. Myself, Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, Joy Bell, former Detroit Lion great. We chop it up, man. We do. Try to keep those guys in line, because when they're out on the ice or out in the football field, that was their world, but they're in my world now.
Yep.
So, and I let them know that. But, and I'll slap Darren around if I have to. People don't know that or not. I'm just kidding. But with all that being said, no, I mean, we're three dudes that talk sports, man. Like a media guy, a couple of ex-players. You get insight that you don't get anywhere else, certainly in sports media in this town. We do a segment every Thursday, Ball and Bell. We break down football play, and every time I'm amazed every time he does it because he did it, so he can break it down the way no one
he
can.
sees things that no one sees. You've been watching the game for years, but he knows the little intricate details to point out, right?
And it is. It's a lot of fun.
And I saw you guys yesterday interview the Northern Guard, some of the folks from the Northern Guard, and that was a really cool interview, man.
Good. I'm glad you got a chance to watch that, and that's something too that speaking of soccer. And that was Darren McCarty's doing. He wants to delve into the world of soccer, Detroit City FC, that fan base, the passion that fan base has, not just for soccer, but for other matters as well. It's not just about sports with them. And just what they've done and how dominant they've been. And this is Darren McCarty's words, not mine. He said, it seems to me they've reached Red Wings in our prime status, where if they don't win a match, they're like, well, what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, all the matches Detroit City FC plays during the NISA schedule, if they don't win, people are like, "Oh, what happened?" See, I told you, oh man, but it's over now. It's over for Detroit City FC. But it's amazing what they've done. Trevor James is one of the greatest coaches I've ever been around. The style of soccer Detroit City FC plays, that's something I talk about a lot. They can defend to a lockdown level, but it's also appealing to watch because they can attack and the way they attack from the wings. And I mean, what he's done has been incredible.
So just so everybody's aware, Neil is the voice of Detroit City. You do the commentating on all the live streams and everything, and you've done that for several years now.
Yeah.
Not to kind of brown nose or say how good you are, but I was watching the Detroit City game versus I believe it was San Diego 1904 a couple of weeks ago. And oh my word, those announcers! I had to mute it after a couple of minutes. I And no offense to them, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. But the phrase "Okay, here we go" was said 48 times in 42 minutes, and the Detroit City folk who are watching online in the stream and listening to the commentary made a drinking game out of it. They are still
3 people are dead.
Yeah, 3
people are dead.
They're still waking up for the hangover, and 3 people are dead.
Yeah.
You guys do such a good job.
Thank you.
And John
I
up in the
appreciate
booth.
that. John's incredible.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
so
John's incredible. John's like George Bell of soccer, man. And he sees the game in ways I can't. I'm watching the ball all the time, so he keeps up with what's going on. He breaks it down, and he's right. And it's incredible. Yeah, I mean, to think the first match I called was back when they played at Cass Tech, and we did it from a press box. It was a clouded window press box I couldn't see out of, and we were streaming, and there were maybe 500-600 people watching that stream. And now we're on all over the state on television. We're available in over 8 million homes in the state of Michigan. We're putting up good rating numbers as well. I mean, that numbers that rival the pro sports teams in town. I mean, think about that for a minute. I mean, it's I'm not saying it's there yet, but it's knocking on the door. We'll just say it like that. So I mean, the growth, man. That's anytime you ever talk to someone about Detroit City FC, they've talked about growth, and that's been the same in the media world as well. It's been incredible. What
people need to realize about Detroit City FC, yes, they started out at Cass Tech, little small rinky-dink football fields in the middle of Detroit. The field was actually terrible.
Yeah.
The first game attracted, I think it was 1,200 fans.
Yeah.
And most of those tickets were given away for free.
Sure.
The soccer was okay. It wasn't great. But every single year it has gotten better. I believe this is their 10th year now, Detroit City FC.
Going into year number 10. Yeah.
Going into year 10. It has gotten better every single year. They've moved to a new stadium out in Hamtramck, Keyworth Stadium, and it's just continued to grow. But it's the soccer's continued to grow, but what they do for the community and what they do for people is unbelievable. Like, for instance, the Pride Raiser thing they just did in the past couple of weeks, $50,000 raised. Is that what it was? It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's amazing.
It was massive numbers.
Amazing.
Ally Bank, they made a huge donation as well, and that was something I talked about in the interview we did yesterday with Andrew Reynolds from the Northern Guard. They turned me on to a bunch of stuff that I knew but I didn't know, like with the LGBTQ community, the Ruth Ellis Center, just some of the stuff that obviously I knew about. We read the newspapers and we see the stuff that happens, but I didn't know, and now I know those stories, and it's really engaged me more in something that I've been more vigilant about, and just the anti-hate and all that stuff, man. I talked about it one time during a broadcast because I got kind of upset that we have to keep having these discussions all the time, man. And it's just life's hard enough for everybody, man, without hate out there, man. Like you're going through stuff, I'll have no idea. I'm going through stuff, you're going through stuff. We all go through
I'm Rosie.
stuff, man.
I'm Rosie.
Yeah, everything's perfect. Yeah. Everything's perfect, right? No, but I mean, we're all going through stuff, man. It's just we don't have to, why the hate?
Why the hate?
Why the hate, dude?
And what I love about the Detroit City FC games is,
except for Ohio. They hate and Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
What I love about Detroit City FC games is when you go out to the game, it's just about the soccer and about having fun. There's there's beer stands, there's food trucks. It's about everybody getting along, man. I mean, I've been to a lot of soccer games in my life, lower level soccer games, high level soccer games. There's arguments, there's fights, there's fans against each other. Detroit City FC games, it's just, man, let's have a good time. Hey, how are you? Nice shirt, cool. Hey, great hat.
Get a taco.
Yeah, man, it's kind of laid back, but man, the fans get into it. Those smoke bombs, the smoke stuff they do, it's phenomenal.
Greatest environment in American sports, pound for pound. I'll die on that hill. I'll look at it. It's the greatest environment, pound for pound, in American sports, and I'll die on that.
And what great value! It's like $12 or $15 for a ticket to get in the door. It's absolutely nuts. Unfortunately, this weekend, Detroit City FC plays away. They play tomorrow in Chicago, SeatGeek Stadium. So Chicago House AC, brand new team to the league. I'm looking forward to watching that game.
I am too.
I'm interested for two standpoints. One, the soccer, because I love to watch, obviously, soccer. But two, just to see the stream that the Chicago House has, and their commentators and how they kind of talk about the game. I came across something on my Twitter feed the other day, and this has nothing to do with Detroit City FC. It was someone saying, I'm watching a lower level, lower tiered soccer game here in America, how come we can't find knowledgeable people to commentate on these games?
There's a simple answer to that. Money.
Yeah,
like Detroit City FC invested in me. They invested in John. Right. Like the quality support of them. The camera crew that we have. Yeah. These are all the same guys that are working for Bally's, that are working for the Lions. I mean, these are the pros in the town. Yeah. I mean, I work with all these guys, all the television events that I do around town. It's important to them. Right. That's why. I mean, it's a very, very simple answer. Everyone's like, what? Like Detroit City FC's Discovered Fire or something like that. No, it's a very simple answer.
But it adds to the flavor. I mean,
1,000,000%. How do you reach more? How do you reach more people in the stadium or watching on television?
Absolutely, watching on television. That's where all this money for all these record transfer fees comes, right?
Yeah,
there's a reason all these clubs, besides the oil-owned clubs, are able to spend so much money on these players is because of the TV rights. So you're right.
I don't understand. Why is this a mystery to everybody?
If you're going to start a team in Nisa or any lower-level league, make sure you have commentators. I mean, hell, some of the MLS commentators are a little...
Absolutely.
They're not the greatest.
You have American sports broadcasters broadcasting a game that they don't quite grasp. And I'll be the first to tell you guys, like, I'm not this soccer savant or anything like that. But I did this weird thing where I paid attention, and I got immersed in the culture and did some research.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Wait, can you guys slow down real quick? Money makes.
Yes.
I'm writing this down. Money makes things better. And pay attention.
So Neil, you're wearing an Oakland University shirt there. You're commentating on the game tomorrow?
Tomorrow, ESPN Plus, Oakland against Michigan.
That's on ESPN Plus?
That's on ESPN.
Oh, what a game.
Select Oakland soccer games are on ESPN Plus. Verizon League.
So that's the second reason to actually get ESPN Plus. Outside of the Bundesliga, where's our sponsorship deal?
I know. We keep pushing ESPN Plus, man. They got to sponsor us.
I've said that for nobody pushed ESPN Plus or pushes ESPN Plus harder than I do. It is the greatest value.
They have everything.
In the history of television.
Absolutely. They have everything soccer related. Oh my God! Have you scrolled through the leagues that they have there now?
Yeah.
They're like, Dutch League, Bundesliga. They have everything. They have everything but the Premier League, and I'll see when that comes there. And they're finally. What's neat about the streaming is you can fast forward through stuff without hitting ads, which is nice.
That's always nice.
It is. I'm a big proponent of ESPN. I call matches too for USL on there. USL League One.
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Ricardo Pepi, I called him when he was in USL League One.
Look at that.
He's sticking with the U.S. national team. Yeah.
And tomorrow's game is actually a game, obviously in-state here. OU versus U of M. Two teams coming off draws. Mm-hmm. OU's got some players on the Herman lists.
Two. Yeah, I mean, no big deal. Just the college soccer version of the Heisman Trophy. I mean, Eric Pope's got this squad lined up this year. I mean, there are big expectations. They were the preseason Horizon League pick to win the Horizon League championship. And look, big expectations means there's a lot of pressure and everything like that. But it always helps when you have good players. Dylan Borchak and Noah Jensen. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there. I mean, these guys, you'll probably hear their names called next MLS draft.
We had Eric Pogan here a couple weeks back, and he is a great interview. Such a good dude. So I played against him back in college. Wow, what a goalkeeper he was.
Yeah.
He played over at Western. But, yeah, he's got a squad, man. He absolutely has a squad, and he said nothing short of our goal is to win every single game, just brick by brick, win and get to the tournament and do some damage in there, and they've got unfinished business, is what they're saying.
Yeah, and some crazy man did his schedule. I don't know who did his schedule with, at Butler, Michigan State. I mean, some crazy man's doing his schedule. Yeah. I don't know who it is.
I don't know who that is, but he's got some tough ones, man.
No, but you know what though? I mean, let's be real. I know what the goal is, man. The goal is lining himself up to where if it comes down to it, they could get an at-large bid at the NCAA tournament. Yep. Things don't, you know how soccer works, especially in college soccer. You have one game that determines the fate for your season. A bounce can go against you when you're behind it. He's trying to line it up, and they're good enough to be an at-large team. I was so crushed last year that they had the COVID situation happen and then they couldn't participate in the Horizon League tournament. But they're lined up, and I'm as excited for this Oakland men's soccer seasons. I've been for an Oakland, any sport in Oakland for a long time.
Dude, do you commentate on every game or just the ones that are on ESPN Plus?
Yeah, the ESPN Plus ones. There's 5 matches, 5 home soccer matches for the men, 5 for the women.
Lovely.
That I do on ESPN Plus.
Lovely. Let's. You mind if we just ask you some questions and get to know you a little bit better?
Yeah, fire away, man.
All right, give us your favorite DCFC moment. What's you've been commentating for a couple of years now, so what's your favorite moment?
That's an easy one. The Tyrone Mundy goal against Ann Arbor that won the regional championship.
Yeah.
That was such a big moment for me. Like, let's be selfish. It was a big moment for me because of the stage. The call went great. It was a huge moment. Tons of views, all that kind of stuff. I've signed photos of that for a wedding gift. Somebody asked me to sign a photo of that and put, of course, on there as a wedding gift, which I thought was pretty funny. That was just such a big moment for me personally, and obviously for the team, for the fans, and everything like that. That was an easy one.
Nice. I'm going to ask this question for Nate because I know he wants to ask it. You might have forgotten.
There's no way you can be reading my mind right now. But go ahead.
Who's your favorite DCFC player?
Oh, that's an easy one.
My favorite DCFC player? Well, I mean, that depends. Like, as far as, are you talking about like player on the field, like dude to have a pint with?
There's only one. There's only one.
Well,
both.
Nate,
It's both. There can only
Nate has
be one.
his favorite player.
Oh, Nate, who's your favorite player?
Oh, come on.
Nate's
The best Nate in the world? Nate Steinwasher?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
shut down
dude.
Nate.
Yeah.
The brick wall.
Yeah.
do you know him? Have you seen him?
I have. I can.
Were you enamored by his greatness?
I am, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
so as a
the
Nate,
only thing he's ever done wrong in his life is go to Detroit Mercy. That's the only thing he ever
we can
done.
overlook that. As a Nate, I feel like his accomplishments are also mine. Is the Nate community,
The Nate community.
Yeah, well,
global
My
Nates
word.
align, are rooting for him around the world.
No, and I concur. As far as Nate, the pantheon of Nate greatness goes, he's definitely near the top. As are you.
Yeah, no.
Second
Wait,
I'd say you were the
so I was talking to Nate
second
Klinsmann over in Germany. He lives in Stuttgart, and we were talking about Nate Steinwasher and how great he was. And then, Nate from Puerto Rico called in on the Zoom chat, and we had a great conversation there.
No, I really like Stephen Carroll. I'm a big fan of Stephen Carroll, the guy. Tendai Jadida. I'm a big Tendai guy. I mean, to talk to him about his story and everything.
Yep.
All the dudes are cool.
Yep.
Man. They're all cool.
Okay. Who's the number one to have a beer with?
Stephen Carroll.
Stephen Carroll?
Yeah. Or Trevor James.
Yes. He's got
I've
the
had a beer
stories
with Trevor
has.
I've had a beer with Trevor James before.
Coach
It's
Trevor
awesome.
James, man, he's got some stories, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
Oh, absolutely.
Man. Such a humble dude.
It's only
as well.
because Nate doesn't drink beer. He drinks greatness.
Bathes in it. As well.
Yeah, bathes in it.
So Stephen Carroll, Nate Steinwasher, I gotta go
Tendai,
Maxi Rodriguez. I just love
They're all
watching
great
him.
dudes, man. Soccer dudes are different. They're different, man.
Different
They're
breed.
dudes.
Different breed, man.
Yeah.
Super nice dudes. You put them on the field. We as a soccer, we become different.
Yeah, when they step across that line, it's that transformation, and then when they step back across the line, they're back to being like that. It is amazing.
Yeah, and I tell people that all the time. Like, hey, we're on the field. I'm going to kick you, and I'm going to try to beat you. But after the game,
We'll go
I'm
have a
going to
beer.
be the first person to buy you the beer.
Yep.
I'm going to buy you your first beer today, and we'll chit chat. Right? I mean,
Right.
that's
I accept your
soccer guys
apology
right
for
there.
last weekend, Craig. It's all right.
Yeah. So we know Detroit City FC. Do you support another pro team like Nate supports Stuttgart? I'm an Aston Villa
Yeah,
fan.
I'm a big Liverpool guy.
Liverpool. Oh,
big.
All right,
come on.
interview over.
Oh boy, we're done.
Oh, hey, I mean, what's the problem?
All right, why? How did you come to support Liverpool?
Well, it's interesting because I had one of the video guys I worked with at Oakland. I was kind of a EPL free agent, I guess you would say, about 2015-16, and my video guy I worked with at the time, who's now working at TCU, he was a huge Liverpool guy, and he's like, you should come watch a match with, go watch a match with me downtown. And I was like, yeah, cool, I'll go do it. And I said, now am I going to be entertained by these guys? Because I love, and Craig, you probably heard me talk about this on the air, I love entertainment, and that carries over to soccer. Like Arsenal, never watch that crap, ever. I'm never going to watch it. It's boring as hell to watch. Liverpool, they can be up 5-2 and lose. They can be down 5-2 and win.
You're entertained, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they can blow any lead. They can come back from any deficit. I love it, man. They're entertaining as hell, and they did it right, unlike Tottenham. When they sold Coutinho, that set the whole thing in motion. The exact same thing Tottenham should be doing right now with Harry Kane. They should have sold him 2 years ago took that money,
And
built a
reinvested.
base of players.
Yep.
Exactly what Liverpool did when they sold Coutinho. They got Alisson, Virgil van Dijk.
Yep.
Boom, winning trophies all the
Yep.
time.
All right, understood. I get it. I mean, I can't argue.
No, you can't,
If
'cause
it
it all
brings
happened.
you, if it brings you entertainment and value, there you go. I will remind you of a 7-2 scoreline that Aston Villa had against Liverpool last year.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's the only thing I got.
So that's the
only
Premier
thing I
League. Bundesliga. Why is Stuttgart your favorite team?
Well, I'm a wash in Nate greatness. No, I'm more RB Leipzig.
Okay.
Again, from a style,
Yeah.
the high press they play, all that
All
kind
right.
of stuff. They're very it's entertainment for me.
The
That's what it is.
Gegenpressing. Yeah, and so you're excited about Marsh, I'm assuming, because if you've ever hear him, and you can YouTube it, when his time in Salzburg when they played Liverpool in the Champions League, and what he said, and if you haven't, go watch it,
I do have to go
because
back and watch it.
it is pretty impressive how he was rallying that team up, because it was in English and in German. So
It's always a good mix.
Well, so Stick, if you could you play that video that we have of the goal that was scored about a week ago by Detroit City FC? I'm assuming you saw the bicycle kick.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, in California. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Jimmy Filerman.
what a goal.
Yeah.
Filerman, I mean, what an absolute, he's a great player.
He
He's an
is.
exciting player. But man, to pull something out like that, that was a goal right there.
Yeah.
We were going to show it here. I mean, the ball gets clipped in, takes off his chest, and then, I mean, I must have watched this thing 1,000 times, and every single time I'm just so impressed that you got the thought to bike it from the top of the box, and it just clips the underside of the bar, and the goalie's got no
Neil,
chance.
can you call this as it's happening live? Like if this was, let's just do it. We're gonna do it one more time, and then just call it. Go.
The ball served into Filerman. The bicycle kick, and we are level at 1. Jimmy Filerman does it again. It's the
Damn,
morning.
this
That's
man is a
brilliant.
professional.
I love it.
This man's
That's why
a
we brought him
professional.
in. Love it.
Nice.
So, guys, the next game for Detroit City FC is tomorrow. It's an away game in Chicago. The next home game is against New Amsterdam FC,
Yeah.
and it'll be September 11th at 4 p.m. So if people can attend the game, they can watch the stream and hear you and John.
TV 22
Yep.
here in Detroit, all over the lower peninsula of Michigan. Check your local listings on the Detroit City FC television network.
And if you guys are interested in attending the game, DebtCityFC.com is where you can purchase your tickets. Again, as you heard us talk about, the atmosphere out there, the entertainment value is absolutely phenomenal. So get out and watch the game. But if you can't, if you're around the world and can't watch the game, tune in. We Are Soccer will supply those links, and you can hear Neil and John call the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Oakland, Michigan tomorrow, Sunday, 2 o'clock,
Exactly.
ESPN Plus.
ESPN
Big time
Plus,
matchup.
2 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's
because
going to be a great game.
I make no bones about it. You hear me when I'm doing the Big D Energy Show. Not a Michigan guy.
Yeah.
So it's a little personal for me, too, tomorrow.
Plus, if you can't watch it at 2, the ESPN Plus has the replay, which
There you
is
go.
how I live my
Bingo.
life.
Yeah.
One giant replay because I have kids.
OU, we interviewed the Michigan coach, Coach Shaka, and then we interviewed Coach Pogue from OU. Both great dudes.
Yeah,
Good
Shaka
squads.
is a great guy.
He
Great
really
guy.
is. I was really surprised. I didn't know him very well, and then we did the interview, and oh my word, such a nice guy.
He is. He's a great
Such a
guy,
nice
but I want Oakland to win tomorrow.
Yep. All right.
Sorry.
Both teams looking for the first first victory of the season, as they're both coming off draws. So that should be a great game.
No, absolutely
That
it
should
will
be a
be.
great game.
It's going to be a great team, and I encourage you, if you're a soccer fan and you don't follow college soccer that much, latch on to this Oakland team because they're going to go on a run.
Yep, and they got some players, like you said, that we'll
got some
hear
players.
in the MLS the next couple of years.
Yep.
Neil, thank you so much for joining.
Appreciate
Very much
you guys.
appreciate it, man.
Nate,
Thank you.
it's great to be with you, man. Thank you.
That was probably a lie, but I appreciate that because Craig doesn't even say that.
Well, guys, that's a wrap for us on We Are Soccer. A big thank you to Woodward Sports and Stick behind the scenes running the board back there today. Very much appreciate you there, Stick. Thank you to our sponsors, Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars FC, Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage, and Aaron and Next Level Training. Thank you for all the support you do for us. And don't forget to join us on all the social channels. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Did I miss any? We're on all of them.
MySpace.
No, I haven't fired that back
Oh.
up yet. No, I have to take that down for a little bit. Tom unfriended us.
Dang, Tom.
So for that, for now, that'll do it. And I appreciate you guys joining, all right? Cheers.